people all the time, you need a game plan for everything. You want to lose weight? You need a game plan. You want to get buff? Need a game plan. You want to get your finances in order? Get that 700-800 plus club? You need a game plan.
So here's the real mystery. How do regular folks like you and me, who have families and real lives, who have careers and regular 9-to-5s, really fare in the personal finance game? Why are some hugely successful while others fail miserably time and time again? Those are the glaring questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Empower You Financial with Eva Palacios.
All right, and welcome to another episode of Empower You Financial with Eva Palacios. My name is Charles McGill. I'm your host. So excited to be talking to you guys today. But before we get started, I got to make sure the credit boss, aka credit coach, is in the building. Ms. Eva Palacios, you in the house?
Yes.
Yeah. So you back from Cancun, right?
Oh my gosh. Yes. That was amazing.
So yeah, you know what? I know people have been wanting to know about the trip. You've been posting a lot online.
Yes.
It seemed like you had a moment out there. It seemed like you caught the spirit. Tell us about it. Tell us about what happened.
Yes. It's just amazing what can happen when you're surrounded amongst the right people, the right energy. And sometimes I like to call it, you need a butt kicking. And it was definitely a butt kicking moment. This trip, it's basically a conference and it's called Phenomenal Life. And it's hosted by Eric Thomas. And this is the third trip that they've had. This was supposed to happen last year, but due to COVID, they shut it down. So we made it up by coming this year. So this is our third trip. The first trip was at a cruise in the Bahamas. So it's a 1 week long conference. And the week long, every other day is conference. And then the off days are your free days to do whatever you please. So this time, yes, it was in Cancun. And man, the resort, I told them, I said, I don't know how you're going to top it next year because this year was pretty dope. And it seems like as every year progresses, it gets better. But man, everybody had an amazing time. The resort was all inclusive, so friendly, so accommodating, so clean. Everything was such in order. Like you would love this, Charles. Everything was in order. As soon as we checked in, they're like, okay, you're here for these many days. We need to make sure we set up your COVID testing. So when you go back home, you need to produce a negative test. Your girl almost got stuck at the airport. Yeah.
Okay. That's a weird segue. Because you almost got COVID or something? I don't understand.
No, because they're like literally, like it's straight up. In order for you to come back into the US, you had to produce the actual results page that says Eva Palacios result negative. Okay. Well, I wasn't instructed. And I just, you get the email like in 2 hours. And the email comes and it says basically, here are your results and here's a QR code. So I screenshot the QR code thinking, well, when I go there, they need to scan it to make sure they go into the live portal and see my result.
That makes sense.
Because if I screenshot it, like, how do we know I didn't screenshot a fake result? Right? Like, that's my logic. No. You had to show them the actual the actual page. So once you click the QR code, it goes into the page that says Eva Palacios results negative. I didn't do that. So I'm at the airport and guess what? Wi-Fi is not working.
Oh.
I show them the QR code. They're like, nope, that ain't going to work. And I'm like, so Will, he has his results page. He didn't even have my back to have my results page. So they're like, here you go, Mr. Palacios. Here's your stuff. You can go. Bye. I'm like, what about me? And they're like, no, like, figure it out. I'm like, are there computers? Can I use a computer? Like, what can I do? And crazy, when we were supposed to go, when we're departing the resort to go to the airport, again, like everybody has their own time on when you get on your bus to get to the airport. Our flight was leaving at 3:45. They were trying to put us on a bus at 11. I'm like, that's almost 5 hours. I'm like, no, like it's 2. And they're like, no, Miss Palacios, we need to account for traffic and this, and you got to go through, international and there's no fast track lane. There's no TSA lane. There's no VIP, none of that. No VIP. And I'm like, okay, well, I won't leave at 11. Let's leave at 11:30. And they're like, are you sure? It's at your own risk. And I'm like, we'll be fine. Well, thank goodness that we left at 11:30 because we ended up leaving with another couple who's in Texas, who was on the same flight from Mexico to Arizona. So we all get to the airport and thank you, Jesus. They were there because I was able to use her cell phone to get on her super duper speed internet, log in to get my results and produce the right documentation.
Wow. And you made it home.
And I made it home. I was like, don't leave me stuck in Mexico by myself.
Mexico tried to keep you, but no.
It was so nerve-wracking. I'm like, what?
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
But the trip overall was just amazing.
Well, it sounds amazing and it looks amazing too. You gave us a lot of visuals, and I remember you were texting me, and I felt like you sent me some brochures. You sent me a video. I was like, okay, what's going on? Next thing I know, all of a sudden I'm seeing a Facebook post saying, we've invested. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. It's the turn up. What did we invest in?
So one of the conference days, Eric Thomas was talking about we only have one life. And what good is it if we're not living life how we are meant to be living life? He was like, if you've got money, spend it. And I'm like, wait a minute, like how we spending it? Like you can't just be telling everybody to spend their money. Like he's like, when you go to the grave, like you can't take it with you. Yeah. So spend it, but spend it on things that are going to add value to you. And, he was saying, society and world tries to keep us in a bubble. And he gives this example. He says, my wife, Dee Dee, their originally house is in Michigan. They just bought a house in California, fat, nice, updated, brand new home. And they're loving the space that they're in. So she has an illness. So they live in California for the warm months because Michigan's really, really cold, but their family's there. So they go back and forth. So she's like, okay, T, like, I love our Michigan home, but I want our California home to look like the Michigan home. So he's like, all right, like, let's do it. Let's flip it. And they own like lots of land, but she's like, let's start with the kitchen. So she's getting quotes to remodel these kitchens. And everybody's like, why are you going to make this kitchen be $60,000 when the surrounding home values, it don't make no sense. And then he's like, we don't care about the surrounding home values. Like, this is our home. And if we want a $60,000 kitchen, we want a $60,000 kitchen because we are going to live here for the rest of our lives. And this is how we want to live. And I'm like, that is so true. Like, how many people in the world are telling us we can't do this because of this, and we shouldn't do this because of this, but they're not living our lives. And why should we dim our light for other people that will take away from our happiness? So long story short, I'm like, me and my husband were like, we love this resort so much. And all we can think of was, man, if our kids were here, if our kids are here, look at what they would be experiencing. There were monkeys that were swinging from the trees, landing on our little balcony. I wanted to like take one home. I'm like, you can't share that. I don't care how many videos you take. It's not the same as being in the moment. So I'm like, I want our kids to experience this. I want our friends and family to experience this. Our great grandkids, like everybody. I'm like, how am I just finding out about this resort? Like, had I known, and this resort has been, it's evolved, but it's been there for a while. And I'm like, if I knew this existed, I would have been here like a long time ago.
And you said it was a 5 diamond, right?
Yes.
So tell the folks what that means. Cause I felt very, I was like 5, what?
I was getting educated.
Tell us again. Tell me again.
Yes. So, I mean, I've been to some nice resorts, 5-star resorts. I thought 5 stars were it. Like 5-star resorts.
That's all I know. That's what it's called.
That's all I know too, right? Yeah. Until you get exposed to other things. So, me and hubby have been on like 4 or 5-star resort type trips that we've earned, with our other businesses and stuff like that. And definitely royalty. Like I was like, everybody needs to have one of these in their lives. But then we get to this resort and we find out that it's a 5-diamond resort. And I'm like, now 5 stars? Like 5 diamonds? Like what? And apparently 1 diamond is worth 5 stars.
Oh.
So this resort is 25 diamonds, or excuse me, 25 stars, 25. AKA 5 diamonds. And I'm like, oh, man. No wonder I freaking love this place.
Hold on. The scale only go up to 5.
Right?
It's a 25 out of 5. Wow.
And in the world, there's only like 100 and don't quote me, but like 140, 150 5-diamond resorts in the whole world. So I'm like, don't even show me the other ones because we already got this one. Like, I don't even want to look over there. But I'm just like, no wonder. Like, it all made perfect sense. And I in the group that we were with, I'm telling people, I'm like, you're probably not paying attention, but I pay attention to everything. There were always people cleaning the common areas. You always see workers either, trimming trees or sweeping or mopping or picking up the empty glasses or the plates. So that right there, very, very clean. Also, when, and there's like, I forget, like there's like 5 or 10 restaurants on site where all inclusive, you can eat anywhere, drink anywhere, as much as you want, whenever you want. Well, not whenever. They would usually close at about midnight, but they have 24-hour room service. So if you were hungry, I'm telling you, 24-hour room service. And it's just as good as if you ate at the restaurants.
I'd be ordering some 2 a.m. cookies for real.
Yeah. I heard their French toast was bomb. We didn't ever eat breakfast because we always woke up too late. No. We woke up too late.
Oh, okay.
But so then when you go eat at either the restaurants or even at the buffet, oh my gosh, the buffet. Sometimes you'd be like, the buffet, it's buffet food. No. The food at this buffet was all freshly made in front of you. So if you ordered, I fell in love with their I don't even know, their ribs. I fell in love with their ribs and one of their steaks. They would literally like take out the raw steak, boom, throw it on the thing and grill it in front of you and bring it to you when it was ready.
Will they sprinkle the salt on it? With the
little guy.
Y'all on YouTube can see what I did.
Yeah. They did the sprinkle.
Nice.
But all of the food was fresh. It tasted like, I'm like, I don't think I've ever tasted food this tasty before in a buffet. And then you had like multiple waiters at your table. So you weren't waiting around to be like, can you give me some more water or tamarindo, whatever you wanted to drink? Like as soon as your glass was like half empty, they'd come and switch it out and bring you a new one. And I'm like,
okay, you know what? So, okay. I'm gonna need you to pause for a second because it's too much.
It's a lot. That's a whole other episode. But it was amazing.
So you got something though for the Lions Club.
Well, yes. So we basically invested in a vacation package. Okay. And what that allows us to do is allows us to refer our friends and family or those who are part of the Lions Club. Basically a discount when they book to stay there. But not just a discount. The package that we got includes free admission to all 12 theme parks. So the regular people who don't have the insider deal, they would be booking at a more expensive cost, which 1 week on average at this resort for 2 people. Actually, no, 1 week average at this resort for a family of 4 is about $7,000. Whereas with us, it would be a whole lot less. And when regular people book on average $7,000, they'd have to pay extra to attend whatever amusement parks that they want. With our booking, they get all of that for free.
Okay, so you found a way to hook up those lions that want to take part in that amazing
zip lining,
diamond.
Swimming with the dolphins, snorkeling, jetpack skiing, all kinds of crazinesses. It was amazing. Yeah,
well, I can't wait because we've already talked about it, and
we going back in October.
Wife. Yeah, well,
we going in October.
All right, see,
we already decided.
Okay, well, I'll tell my wife. I think in a second.
And they have a kids only section. Kids only.
That's right. You kept saying bring the kids.
Bring the kids. So they have like the adult side, which is super. The adult, this is this building that's called the Fuego Building.
Fuego. I think I know what that means. Is that fire?
Fire. Yes.
Yes.
So this building, you have to be at least 16 years old and up. And this building, all the rooms in this building, which through our package, you have for free. Normally, you got to pay extra to be in this building. This building, each room comes with its own butler.
Okay.
And rooftop swimming pool that's made of plexiglass.
Hold on. All right. Time out. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So those that are lions that are listening, if you want to hear more about this, let's have Eva talk to us. Maybe during the accountability call, you can go into this a little bit more. We will
definitely talk about it.
Okay, good.
So much more.
That sounds like a whole lot and amazing stuff. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. And it sounds like, the next one we're going to be going to, the next Phenomenal Life. You've already spoke it. You already said that we're going VIP. So that's amazing too. Yeah. So that'll be cool as well.
Yes.
So you know what, man, I feel like I want to just kind of get into the podcast, but we haven't spoken in a while. So I still have my updates. So speaking of, so mine isn't as cool as yours. But it was a funny thing that happened recently to me. Actually, just before we got on the call, actually, I text you about this.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Share with the world.
Speaking of like leveling up, and see, this is the thing. I almost don't want to say it because I'm like, me, my cautious self. I'm like, I don't know. But I got a call just earlier this morning from a number I don't know. And by the way, like, I think some people get offended if you call me and I don't know your number, you go straight to voicemail. I am not doing that. It's a setting on the phone that says, if I don't know your number, go straight to voicemail. So some people have hit me up and like, why you send me straight? I'm like, I don't have your name programmed in my phone. That's why. So anyway.
Oh, you got an app for that? Can you hook me up with that app? Because I need that.
It's a setting in Apple. It's called silence unknown callers. Yeah. Yeah.
Show me.
Well, see. Okay.
Because hold on. Because okay. I have to admit, when I was in Mexico, I was in pure bliss because I didn't get those annoying, unknown telemarketer phone calls. And the moment I came back, this is all I get. Like, I don't even answer my phone no more because it sucks.
See, I think the thing is, I think we would do it for different reasons. So you're getting telemarketers probably offering you stuff.
Always.
I turned it on because of bill collectors. I was going to be real. I was going to be real. Right. And I never turned it off. I'm in a better place now. We catch it up. But that's the reason why I turned it on in the first place, probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And it just like, let it ride. But anyway, so it went straight to voicemail. And so I listened to the voicemail. I always listen to my voicemail. So I listened to the voicemail. And it said, hi, this is so-and-so, at the bank. And I wanted to introduce myself as your personal business banker. Please give me a call. It's just a courtesy call. Everything's fine. I'm just like, what? I'm like looking at the phone again. I'm like checking the number. I'm like, what is she talking? I ain't never got no call from the bank. I mean, other than the Satha recently, he texted me, but this is like, my other bank. And I'm like, why are they calling me? This is weird. I feel so weird. And so, I ended up calling the number back because I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. She didn't say anything was wrong, but still, I'm just like, why in the world would you call me? So I called back and she answered the phone. I thought I was going to go straight to voicemail or something. And she answered the phone, and I was like, "Hi, Charles, returning your call." She goes, "Hi, Mr. McGill, this and that." I'm like, "Whoa, okay. And she's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to, let you introduce myself as your personal business banker. And I want to let you know that I would love to just, meet with you and talk to you and talk about some of your options that you have with us, and also, discuss ways we can save you money. Would you like to come in and have us, just talk?" And I'm like, "What?
Okay, let's go. Let's go."
Yo, I'm sorry. Of course, I set up the appointment, but I have to admit, what in the world? Like I've that's never happened to me. I've been having some good months. Things have been cool.
They're like, "Oh,
advice.
We see you working, Charles. We gotta we gotta give him a phone call before he takes his money out and runs."
Is that what that is? Is that what that's like? Remember when I told you how
it would be smart for them to do that? Like, I'm still wondering how come nobody's calling me from the primary account that gets all my money. I'm about to shift it over. I'm like, ain't no love for me over there.
You remember when I told you how the last time I have two business bank accounts.
Yep.
With the same bank, but the other account, remember I told you how I was having a lot of trouble getting, some customer service and stuff. And then the lady told me one time, she was like, you just ain't got that kind of account. Basically like you ain't got enough money in this account for us to be worried about you. You don't got no, personal business. So not that I say I don't feel like I have that much more. I don't know what's going on, but basically it's just like, wow, that was kind of amazing. And so
let's see what happens at the appointment.
Let's see what happens at the appointment.
Yes.
We'll see. Maybe she just give me a brochure and kick me out the door. I don't know, but we'll see. It's pretty exciting though. Anyway, all right, let's get into the podcast. I really wanted to talk to you guys about, or talk to you, Eva, about just, how things kind of just have been happening lately. And it seems like a lot of this is kind of like, serendipitous, if you will, like happenstance, random. We kind of use these words. But one thing that I'm a man of faith, and one thing I do believe, and actually we have two guests, two lions in particular, two guests from our Lions Club that we're going to be talking to today. But one of our guests said something just recently that, she doesn't believe in coincidence, or she doesn't serve a God of coincidence. And so that resonates with me, because it feels like a lot of things, we kind of like to say that they're coincidence, but they actually
on purpose.
They're on purpose. And I think a lot of the especially when it comes to leveling up your finances and leveling up in life, you got to live intentionally. You got to be doing things on purpose, and everything really does happen on purpose. I remember it was, I think it was Jamal talk about this on with ET and that podcast, when they talk about like, I think he said like, the things that are happening now are a result of things he was doing 10 years ago.
Yes.
So when he's working out now, or he's doing things, he's thinking about the person, 10 years from now and how that's going to affect. So everything we do, whether we know it or not, whether it's intentional or not, is it designed? It's on purpose, right? Nothing really is happenstance, so to speak. Yep. So I'd love for you to just share a little bit about how that's been kind of moving and shaking in your life, especially in your world when it comes to finances. Because I think a lot of folks, sometimes, we look at our credit and we kind of look at it and we're like, maybe if I just stop looking at it, it will change in a couple of months. Maybe I would just mess around and get a 700, just talk to us about how that doesn't happen, and how, you got to be intentional and on purpose about everything we do.
Yes. And that's so important. So many people just, sit on the sidelines and they're like, okay, maybe if so much time goes by, this will change. Or maybe if, we just kind of tuck this away in a little safe spot, it'll change. No, you got to be very intentional with everything that you do in life. I tell people all the time, you need a game plan for everything. You want to lose weight? You need a game plan. You want to get buff? Need a game plan. You want to get your finances in order? Get that 700-800 plus club? You need a game plan. You want to, make more money? Got to have a game plan. Like everybody needs you want to have a better marriage. You need to have a game plan. You want to have better relationships with your kids or your friends. You got to do work. Like, you cannot expect things just to fall on your lap because you've read about it, you've listened about it, you've talked about it. But if you're not doing the work, it may come, but it may come later down the road. Yeah. You need to do work in everything that you do.
You know, that's funny when you say parenting, though, and I don't want to take us off topic, but it's funny that you just say parenting, because my wife and we've been talking lately about our two boys.
Yeah.
And she comes to me sometimes, for, some suggestions on how to, kind of, I guess, parent them. Right. And context, I had a set of, 3 daughters before we got married. So this is her first go around. This is my second go around. So I got a little more experience. Plus I was a teacher and a dean and a principal. So I'm actually like, formally trained in terms of like how to manage kids, right? In the best ways. And so, I find myself, giving her some tips and things like that. And I remember talking to her when we first got pregnant, so excited. And she was just, I'm going to be this amazing mother and just do all these things. And we're going to do this and that. And she is an amazing mother. But in terms of the fantasy that she thought that they were going to get up every morning and smile at each other, and then the kids are going to sit down politely and ask her to read to them.
Get dressed on time.
And get dressed on, like all of that. Like in her dream wasn't the, getting 2:00 in the morning, getting walking in our bed and kicking us in the face and or being sick and whining and crying, and then all of a sudden saying I love you and making you cry, and then saying sweet things to you and all this emotional stuff, right? Yeah. And the truth is, sometimes she asks me and I'll say, babe, no one gave us a book on this. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, we just try to figure this thing out. However, with that said, the more that I've learned about it and actually studied it, and now that she's a preschool owner and director, she's learning and reading about it. We actually are learning techniques and ways. And there's actually ways what you can get a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old to line up and like single file. Yeah, that's possible. Yes, it is. There's technique. You can do that. So like our kids right now, our boys are reading, they're doing math and they're super young. Amazing stuff. But to your point, when you get the right teaching, the right training, you have the right game plan.
Yep.
A lot of things can happen once again on purpose, right? Sometimes we see like that kid that you see that's amazing. They didn't just wake up that way.
No. Somebody put work into that.
Somebody put work.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit more, because I think sometimes we look at it and we say, man, because I could imagine some of us like, man, I'll just say, I'll speak for myself. You looking at the people on the at the Cancun resort, they chilling and they doing the thing. You like, man, what I'm saying? What are they doing? What are
they doing different?
Let me look at my wallet. Why did I not have enough to do this? Right. And sometimes, what sets in is, you get a little jealousy, you get a little envy, you get a little upset, at the situation. And sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes when I hear about what some people do, I'm thinking like, man, like that just seems so far from where I am right now. But until I met you and started to put things together, I'm inching closer and closer and closer. And I'm like, wow, I'm getting a phone call from the personal business banker now. Like, what is going on?
They'll be like, here, Mr. McGill, we're going to give
my
you
life right now?
$1,000 right now.
Crazy. So talk to us, man. So talk to those people right now who are, still kind of just like, man, I see all this going on, Eva, but like, I don't get it. Like, why does this happen for me?
Yeah. And so, and it's crazy because a lot of people, for the Phenomenal Life event, there was a lot of familiar faces, and then there was definitely some new faces. So the new faces were, asking us like, why do you keep coming back? Like, this is your third one. Like, isn't it the same? And I'm like, we keep coming back. Number one, because of the people, the culture, the environment, the energy, but also most importantly, what they're talking about, what they're teaching. This is definitely open for everyone. But I will have to say our first Phenomenal Life was if we hadn't attended the first event, and this is may sound crazy to some, but our marriage was on the rocks. If we didn't attend that event, we would have been divorced.
Mm.
They talk about marriage. They talk about relationships, how to communicate, how to understand one another. So there's bits and pieces. They talk about relationships and marriage. They talk about faith. They talk about fitness. They talk about business. They talk about, personal development, how to become a better human being. So we keep coming back, even though it's, the same topics, the discussion is different. The people who attend are different. And all I know is every time we attend, we leave there empowered. And we just make it a point that, okay, this is going to be a business trip that we're going to take every single year, no matter what. That's going to help us not only increase our business, but also increase the people that we are, or put us in a direction of where we need to go to help us reach these certain goals. So is it an expense? Yes, but it's not like we just said, okay, we're going to go tomorrow, come up with X amount of dollars. No, in our Lions Club, I'm like, look, you can click over there and get on the waiting list, or you can do this and pass everybody in front of the line and get reserved now. I'm so proud of the Lions who have already reserved. And the deposit is very minimal because we have a year to plan. It's very minimal. You put X amount of dollars down, boom, you're not going to hear from them for another couple of months, and then pay some more, and then pay some more until eventually you're all paid off. So when you have the plan of 12 months to make this happen, it's a whole lot easier to do versus trying to lay down this trip in 24 hours.
Well, what I heard you say that's really key for me there is just that even when it comes to your marriage, it sounds like you understand you're not just going to mess around and stay married, if you will.
Oh, no.
Right?
You could mess around and be really bad. but it has to be intentional.
Yeah,
you got to do work.
Yeah.
You got to do work.
Yeah.
And as time changes, people change. The chemistry changes, which then makes people change, and kids change, and the house situation change, money changes. So yes, you have to be very intentional with, okay, this has changed. How are we going to adapt? How are we going to act? How are we going to get through this?
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Hey, quick break here. Sorry to interrupt the podcast. We'll get you right back to it. We just want to spend a few seconds to talk about the EmpowerYou financial group on Facebook. This is Eva's private Facebook group where she gives free tips, tricks, and strategies to improve your financial situation. Join the over 1,000 plus member community and see the success stories of people just like you who want to live life on their own terms. Come laugh with us, tell your story, and share your victories. Just search EmpowerYou Financial in Facebook and join our free private group. Oh, and be sure to invite a friend.
Well, one thing, and I wanted to start to bring in our guests to kind of join us, because we have some two amazing women with us, two Lions that are just have incredible stories that we want to share with you guys. Some things, it's funny too, because with both of them, they have kind of stories that seem kind of random, in terms of like how they hooked up with you, Eva. But we know nothing happens that way, right? It's all intentional, and there's purpose around it all. And so I just love for them to share their stories, because I think it's really important for our audience to hear, because we talk about the Lion Club a lot. And I know that Eva and I get a lot of questions about the Lions Club because folks are curious. And we talk about all the success stories. We're not making it up. This is real stuff, real people. So we want you to hear directly from them. And so, Eva, if you will, just introduce both of these amazing women. Then we'll start to get into some of the questions.
Yes, definitely. And it's so crazy because sometimes people think or assume, oh, these are all like whoever's in the Lions Club, Eva already knows or has some type of connection with, like they already a tribe and it's, kumbaya. No, guys.
Even her cousins.
Right. No, we got strangers up in our club that are loving the environment and are seeing results. So yes, first and foremost, thank you to these amazing ladies. We've got Lucy all the way down from Southern California chiming in with us, who is a complete stranger. And I can't wait till she shares her story on how this on purpose happened. And then we've got Inadina, who I absolutely adore. She is local here in Stockton. I've been knowing her for a while. But again, on purpose, things happen and it's a matter of doing work. So, who do we want to have share their story first, Charles?
Yeah, so let's go with Lucy. Lucy, once again, so excited to be talking with you. Could you just, briefly share, just how you met Eva, how things happen? I think people would love to hear this story.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
I'm a real person. I was a real stranger before the Lions Club. But I don't feel like a stranger anymore.
Awesome.
So I initially found Eva. We've been kind of getting our credit together for the last few years. We bought our first house 2 years ago now this month. And so we had already paid off our credit cards. We didn't have anything in collections, but we were stagnant. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out why is my credit not going up? We're doing the right things. We're paying our bills on time. Nothing is late. What is going on? So I started looking around Facebook groups and YouTube and reading whatever I could on the internet. And I was just it's not happening. So I found a Facebook group that was focused around credit repair, improving your credit, leveling up. And I ran into Eva in one of those, threads. And she was sharing these little nuggets of wisdom. And she just sounded like she knew what she was talking about. And then she shared her group in one of the comments. And so I joined the group. I, was going through the threads, reading, engaging. The word intentional keeps coming up, throughout the podcast. And it's funny because I feel like my husband and myself were being very intentional in the kind of information that we were looking for and what we were trying to do. And, Eva sharing her connections, and one of them was David. David starts talking about IUL, which is, the life insurance plan. And we've been wanting to also increase our life insurance plan. So we connected with him. He actually ended up doing a giveaway, which one of the prizes was spending a year with Eva doing, the credit coaching and being a part of the Lions Club. And I was very fortunate to win that prize. And it was so funny because going into it, I didn't tell you this, but going into it, I had told my husband, I'm winning today.
Oh,
yes.
And I said,
claiming it
out there.
I
walked into it saying, I'm winning today. And I told him, babe, listen, I'm winning today. It's out in the universe. This is things just fell into place in a way.
Yeah.
It's funny. You feel like it's time, you're ready to do something, and things are falling into place in such a fast and clean way. And then I ended up winning that main prize, which getting to spend the 12 months with Eva. And
wow.
I never told you that, but walking into it, I was telling my husband that, and he was laughing. He's like, you actually won. Let's go to Vegas. What's happening?
We're putting everything on red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Write it all.
Oh man. You know what? That's amazing. It actually gave me chills just there because, first of all, when you started your story, you were talking about how, you guys are doing all the right things and you kind of just were looking and kind of waiting. Right. And this is that kind of that phenomenon of sometimes we feel like, isn't it supposed to get better? I'm doing all the right stuff. It's supposed to happen. But then you start to get intentional about it. So, actually, I'm going to go make this thing happen, right? I'm going to start seeking information. You start looking for it. Then you found Eva, right? Not randomly, right? Because if we start thinking about it, right, you were looking, right? So the information was given to you. And then through a random drawing, because I actually was a part of it, and I remember seeing the wheel turn and we put the names in. I remember all the back end stuff and how that happens, and we wanted to make sure that it was a fair random drawing, right? It's like a lottery thing. So but on the other end of that was you saying, no, universe, or no God, whoever, whatever, that's gonna be mine. That's gonna say my name when it's done. And look at that. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that's incredible. So you got this, you're in the coaching program now, you're in the Lions Club. How's it been? How things been going?
It's been a few months. We're almost at 6 months, right? And my credit has gone up, but I want to share this because I honestly feel like in my heart, my husband and I, we talk about this a lot. And the biggest thing that has changed for us is, you didn't just change me or him, you changed our family dynamic around money. Like our kids are involved. Say, mom, can I get this? No, we don't have money for that. And now they know, oh, we don't have money for this because we're saving for this.
Wow.
This family vacation. And my kids, they're 8, they're almost 9. And to hear them speaking in those terms, it's totally going to change their life. Because at 8, I wasn't talking like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't having conversations with my parents about money. It was a very private thing. And I feel like in a lot of families, money is still a very private conversation. And we've even brought that out, with our in-laws and, my own family, my extended family, and, talking about different things like life insurance, estate planning, making sure that our families are set up for success. But within our own family unit, money was a stressful topic, for the longer part of our relationship. And my husband and I were just talking about this last night, and we were saying, this is the first time that we felt not only comfortable with money, not only secure with money, but secure in having those conversations and discussions and making plans, for the future. And, what do we want? And knowing in our heart that we're actually going to get there.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just think about the word empowered, right? That's one thing. I honestly, when you hang around Eva enough, you can't not talk about money. Like, she makes it so, and I told her when we first met, I was like, oh my God, stop, this is uncomfortable, right? And especially talk about my credit. I'm like, yo, chill. Like, yo, you all in my business. Like, but hey, when you get to know her and you start understanding that it's not so much like, first of all, it's not taboo, but also that there's power actually in knowing the information and looking at it, right? And looking at your skeletons, opening up and seeing how dirty things are. Like, you gotta know, you gotta see it, you gotta face it, because then you could do something about it. So it's been that's so amazing. So tell us, so what are some of your plans? I mean, you've been at 6 months, you got 6 more months, and trust me, we are actively thinking of ways to continue the relationship. It doesn't end after 12 months. We're gonna have more stuff for you guys. But so what are some of your goals and plans? I'd love to hear that.
Well, we're definitely looking to stay Lions. We know that we were fortunate, to win this first year free, but we're definitely looking to invest in ourselves and our family and stay Lions. Some of the things coming up in our near future which were some of our main goals when we originally talked to Eva, was we're getting close to being ready to do some major home improvements. We were looking at about 32 grand. We're about halfway there now.
Awesome.
So we're almost ready. We're getting closer to that point. One of the big things is that my kids are almost 9. They'll be 9 in a few months. We've never taken a family vacation. We've never gone an extended period of time. We've done weekends here or whatever, but we've never really had, the resources to, take an extended vacation together. So that's one of our big things coming up for next year. And not only that, our financial planning with, the IUL, being able to actually have a better tool for retirement. We're halfway funded through our IUL now for the first year. We're 3 months in.
Wow.
We're almost halfway funded. So we've been making major steps, not just for our immediate, but for our future.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the thing that we're most excited about, was because, we're not getting any younger and things aren't going to get easier. So we're really trying to take the steps to make sure that my husband and I are taken care of in older age, that our kids are going to be taken care of, and hopefully, building a legacy that we're going to be able to pass on to them, and they're going to be able to grow with and, continue to build on.
Wow. That's amazing. Hats off to you. It sounds like, you are, taking this seriously, right? You're like, hey, I'm changing things, right? And I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for legacy. I'm impressed. Eva, wow. Lucy's amazing.
So let's rewind and let's look at the entire situation. The group that she's talking about has several hundreds of thousands of people in it. How many posts, comments, time of day? There's so many odds and variables, the
algorithm
that could have not connected her with me at that particular moment in time. So it's not like it was just a group of 5 and 2 comments, 2 posts, thousands. What are the odds? Clicks on the link, gets into the Empower You Financial Facebook group. Now she's exposed to a different type of environment. She's still doing work. She's like, okay, well, let me see what this group is all about. Probably going through more posts, videos, whatever. Then she was like, wait a minute, there's a raffle. There is something that could be won absolutely free. All I got to do is this, and this. She wins there was 3 giveaways.
3 prizes, yeah.
3 prizes. And she wins the grand prize of it all.
Yeah.
12 months for free. Most people who get things for free do not value them.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Do not value them. As soon as she won, boom, David reached out. We need this info. Boom, I plugged her in. She still got to do work. She still has to, fill in, let me, add me to this group, book my appointment here, watch these videos, attend our Zoom meetings monthly. She's still doing work. And because of all the work she's put in, this is the result. And this is only the beginning. But I love it. It's not like, oh, I'm just in a group hanging out, seeing what's going on. She was very intentional because she meant business. She was like, something needs to change. So I'm going to put my effort in and let's see what happens.
Wow.
And even though things were then falling into place, she's like, oh, they're falling into place. Let's keep working. Let's be even more intentional to make these things happen. And that's what it takes. And yeah, there's a whole lot more details to the story, but I'm privy because obviously I'm the coach, but I'm just so super proud of you. And yes, like it could start with something very little, like I'm already in a good credit score category, but I know there's more to it.
Yeah.
And if
we could be great.
Exactly. We could be great. We could strive in excellence if we got around the right people. And you start with the little mustard seed and look at everything that's evolved. The feeling and the confidence of knowing you can have a great conversation with your spouse and not end up in an argument over money. You can easily talk to your kids about money and not have to feel bad that you can't provide for them, but you're providing in a different way that they understand. This is the importance behind the Lions Club, is changing the environment in the household, the dynamic, so that it feels better when you do things.
Yeah.
So super proud of you.
And it's not just about credit. It's about resources and options. Options is like a huge thing. Credit now, I feel like, is the smallest part of it.
Right?
So Lucy, if you don't mind, because I just want to give people a little more context. So how long you been married to your husband?
Oh, geez, it's going to kill me. 15, 16 years.
Okay. And
do the math.
It's all right. It's okay. Rough estimate is fine. And then you got 2 kids, you said, or?
Yeah, we have twin boys. They're about to be 9 in September.
Awesome. And if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living?
I work for a large software company. We do payroll and tax filing. And my job actually I'm a team lead. Okay. So I work under a manager in running a team, and basically we do tax filing for corporate offices.
Okay. All right, cool. So, I just wanted to give people context once again, just let people know, Lucy is just, someone you might see, at Walmart, just, chilling with her kids, or
Target.
Our Target. I was about to say, my bad. I didn't. Hey, look.
She might be hanging out at Trader Joe's, Charles.
That's right. My bad. When I said it, I said, hold on, there's some connotation there. But hey, no shame for the Walmart. Exactly. I'm at Walmart too. I'm at Walmart. Hold on now. Target, Walmart.
I feel like I haven't had a lot of money training or information. I didn't grow up talking about money. My parents were both working class. I'm first generation here in the United States. My parents are from Mexico. We didn't grow up with a lot of money. We were comfortable. My dad worked a lot. He worked in construction, manual, hard labor. My mom worked with like the school district. So, you know, we weren't like rolling in money. We weren't having those conversations, you know, frequently, if ever. You know, it was either have money or we don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, my context with money was what I learned on my own, you know, pretty much, and learning hard lessons.
Yeah.
Things that weren't the best for me or my credit. But it's all evolved to where we are now.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You know, I think about my childhood and I just remember the word broke. That was the only that's how I describe my situation all the time. We broke. That's all I knew.
My word was no.
No, it was no.
No for everything. No. Like, okay.
Yeah, no. You yeah.
And it was only ask one time, because if you asked again, you
don't
be bad.
That's right. I know about that. Okay. Well, Lucy, thank you so much. Once again, amazing story. So we have another guest, Inadina. I'd love for you to share your story with how you met Eva. Just tell us, because it's also another great story.
Yes.
Hello. I'm a soldier at the Salvation Army, and our officers there, the pastors, they switch out year after year, and I always take it upon myself to go pull all the contacts when we're switching new officers, to reach out to people that volunteered with us before, letting them know that there's going to be changes, but that, you know, our business as usual. And Eva was on that contact list, and most people I know that are on the contact list. And I'm looking like, Eva Palacios. I'm like, I don't know, who is this? I don't even remember this name. And so when I call her to talk to her, you know, she just, yeah. And I'm just like, now that I would have remembered, right? Just that happy-go-lucky, full of energy.
All that energy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how did I miss this? Anyway, we talk and we figure out how we end up missing each other through that holiday season. Eva did a lot of volunteer work and contact with the Salvation Army. And it was amazing to hear it, because I'm just like, I am the one that's always there. How did I miss this lady? So anyway, we end up not being able to connect that holiday season, busy schedules and what have you. But I kept in contact with Eva, and I would see her on Facebook on her personal page. And we had some things happening here in my family. And I reached out to her on Messenger, and I'm like, hey, this and this is going on with my family. I see you've done this and this. And so she starts throwing me little things. And then we're talking about the business that she was in. And just over time, you've talked about it before, Charles, where people that Eva would be talking to getting all the quote unquote free from, right, over the years. Well, I was one of those people, but never really seeking it. It was just strange. She would just be sharing what she was doing. And I always just kept it like on the back burner and little things. I questioned her about some things. So anyways, we end up hooking up and meeting one day, and she starts telling me what she's been doing, because it had been like a year. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm not thinking anything of it. I was still in bankruptcy coming out of it. I had lost my husband. It was a crazy time. And I'm like, whatever. But I just kept watching. We came into some finances, and I reached out to her again, letting her know the family got some finances. I want to see it stay together. What can we do? And that just evolved into, I got remarried. He wants to think about his, future, a better secure future. And I'm very comfortable. I'm like, let's live, let live. I got through the rough times. I'm cool. I got my home. I got my money. I got my job. I'm cool. Okay, so here we go with Eva. And I tell you, we're just on cloud 110 over here. Planning, man, life has changed drastically since December. Drastically.
So tell me how you became a Lion. How did that happen?
So as I'm watching Eva and her EmpowerYou, and knowing some things that she had shared with me, we had earned rewards. My husband is extremely frugal, like extreme, beyond extreme. So he's seeing these rewards, right? Because we're very hesitant. Like he doesn't want credit, doesn't want to use credit. And because I had already went through bankruptcy, after losing my first husband, I didn't want to be bothered with none of that either. I wanted to just stay secure, quote unquote, secure. And as we learned from Eva in these friend conversations, I was earning rewards. And he was like, did we make $3,500 last year? And I'm like, yeah, right.
Whoa. Hold on. Time out. Hold on. So when some people say rewards, usually they talk about $100, $50.
No.
Did you just say $3,000 in rewards?
My first year of just little things with my friendship with Eva and doing those things. And we didn't talk aggressively. I just watched and listened. I'm a quick, picker-upper. Mm-hmm. And I just started doing some of the things that she was saying. I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, oh my God. Right. And like, we don't want to say too much right here, right? Because they like, I don't
that's right.
Say, like, but yes, our first year.
Wow.
And you're talking, me and my husband were just married a little over a year. And he was like, is it this right here? And I'm like, yeah, because we made it a point to put all reward money in one account and don't touch it. So he could see the manifestation of what I was doing, right? I'm just not mad, crazy, and going to get in debt or go, what I'm saying? And I mean, I think he knows, right? Like bankruptcy had nothing to do with me being bad management all the way around.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again. Say that again. Because you know what? I'll say, y'all don't know, but a long time ago, I was in there too. And I'm not a bad person. That don't mean
right. It wasn't always bankruptcy for me wasn't always because of the bad decisions, right? It was a certain life circumstance.
That's right.
And it just things happen. It all down no more.
That's right.
And when I went to go see the lawyer, he's like, you cashed out into your retirement plan to pay your debt? Okay, you're doing way more than most Americans. Give me this amount of money. We filed this bankruptcy. Stop. Like he just made me stop the madness. Stop trying to catch up with life. Just stop. Just deal with your life. So I dealt with life. And so, like here we are. And he's like $3,500. So what I was fearful of my credit, right? After bankruptcy, like what my score looked like, what I could get. We went to go buy a car and I'm like, no, we can't do this. You're in a car. The interest rate is high. Like I know the little game. I'm like, don't. And I don't know, whatever. The stars lined up and they let me walk out with that vehicle with no money down, with no nothing. I'm like, it's not supposed to be time yet. Like I know with bankruptcy, I didn't even have an official letter of discharge yet. I'm like, these people crazy. Okay, so anyway, it was crazy. So he was like, I was telling him about Eva because I know where my score was roundabout. I know his score was 0. He had 0 credit. So it was like no score. And we did little things. Hold
on. I gotta say, hold on. So that exists, right? There's people with 0. So it even says that sometimes you'll be like, she over here playing.
No, it's real. Okay, so like, well, somebody I know very, very close to me. I'm not gonna blast her. I'm talking to her, and there's no credit score. So I'm like, yeah, okay, you like my second husband was no credit score. But so when I was sharing with my husband about Eva's, this EmpowerYou, and I was reading more about what it was, and I'm just like, I want to do this. And I was just like, I can't even really tell you why I wanted to do it. I was just looking like, I think I want to do this. And I'm like, he is not going to pay for this. He is not. Oh my God. And I just sat there like, how am I going to do this? And it's crazy. I just sat at the dinner table and I'm like, honey, can I share something with you? And he was like, of course. And I show him and he looked at it and he was like, is that Eva? And I said, yeah. And he was like, pay it, join. I was like, what? Eva, was I on the post? I just quit. And I mean, it's been a journey. I think we joined in January or February. I don't know what it was, but my credit score jumped up 52 points in 30 days.
Wow.
In just the technique, right? The right way of knowing what to do. And I was telling you, but like, I filed bankruptcy. I'm not this. She's like, girl, calm down. We got this. Yes.
Yes.
And of course, the onboarding call, then the second call, and the third call, and the planning, and the this, and understanding what to do, how to do it, when to do it, but never stop using my reward credit card, but learning their system, and I'm not missing a heartbeat. I just everybody need to understand that.
Hey,
this household ain't missing a heartbeat.
I love it.
And yes, it's credit coaching, but they people, anybody that is listening, you have no idea what comes along with being a lion. It is so much more than your credit score. Like what Lucy said earlier. That's not even what we're tripping about no more. We over here rubbing elbows, shoulders, and people really people may not understand this, but when I say got to the point where I was very comfortable and content, what I'm realizing today, and it makes me cry, I was settling. I was willing to settle.
Yep.
Instead of reaching for what was really intended for me.
Hey.
That's right.
And now that I'm reaching, I can't even begin to tell you guys the doors that are opening. I was listening to another gentleman, and I shared with Eva a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
My ceiling will be the floor. My generations to come.
You preaching, man. I'm about to. Yeah, you gotta be feeling. I'm about to raise my hand up, like I'm in church.
I'm just like, it's real. Yes, Lucy and I are real people. I am a real person that was very content. I am 52 years old, going to be 53. I've been a postal employee for 35 years. I've been a Salvation Army employee for a year, and God is hardly beginning. I've told people all my life, my grandmother passed away at 104. When I turned 50, I'm like, I'm not even halfway there because I'm going to be like my grandma. So I'm like on my second half of life.
There it is. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, man. I love it. And one thing you said to me that is, it rings so true, especially, in my life too, just being around even the Lions Club, is that feeling, that confidence, and also that tenacity to fight for what's yours. That's right. It. I'm not playing no more. Right. When it comes to my money, and I got this from Eva, I was like, no, give me my money. Like, y'all stop playing with me. Right. You charge me and you ain't supposed to charge me. Oh, you're going to hear about it. I don't care if it's $2, $5. Give me my money.
You that podcast, when you did that, you did a podcast with Eva and you were talking about like, Eva, you really tripping with them about like, what is it? Might it be $5 or $10? Like, yeah. What?
Yes.
So I had did the same thing. I had paid extra on the car note, and I'm like, shouldn't this be going down? And I screenshot and I sent it to Eva. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need to send it to Eva. I need to be sending it to them. Man, I would hurry up and on that telephone. I don't care if it's $2. I don't care if it's 2 cents.
That's right.
It's mine.
That's right. And you know what's powerful about that though? Since I've had that attitude, money has been coming more frequently, because it's not just that too, but it's also this idea of investing. Like when I think about how I spend, like money needs to continue to flow. Like, there's times, especially I've been having some good months, I want to just let it sit and chill in the bank. I'm just like, let me just look at it. Even like, man, what you doing? Get that money out of there. Like, you got stuff to do.
I'm mad that my money's in the bank account and it's not doing something else. Like, no, can we buy a building already? Can we invest in real estate and flip this? Right. Because this money is useless in this bank account right now. And
I think one of the greatest things, and most people need to understand, right? Like, this didn't happen overnight. This didn't happen without work. This didn't happen without a changed mind and attitude to view things differently, right? I don't really feel like I had to work super hard to get where I was, but I had to be willing to change my mind to understand that there's bigger and better and more, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's what you do with it and how you do it, right? And for me, I believe in God. I've always given him what's his, always. I don't care what I don't care what I went through. I didn't even know if bills were going to get paid. God's going to get his first. And I know that the rewards are coming. And the hugest thing, and what, like Lucy said, I commend you. It's wonderful to hear what she said about her talking to her 9-year-old children, right? I grew up the same way. We didn't have those conversations. My father, was a laborer, right? And he worked hard. We went on little vacations and stuff like that, but that wasn't a conversation. And I can say that I kept that mindset pretty much the same with my own children, except I did used to try to teach them to be entrepreneurs, right? And so we did some things with them when they were, they didn't go to summer school. Their best summer school was at home with me when I would teach them how to set up their lemonade stand and overhead and sell snow cones, right? They learned overhead and stuff like that. But, trying to incorporate them now and getting them to understand at this level, it hasn't been easy, but when I tell you, Eva was like, and Adina, we got a call when you have family, because we have family dinner every Wednesday. I did just what Eva said. I put that laptop off. I put on that accountability phone call, and we had coach on there. And they're just like sitting there, just watching, listening. I'm like, okay, Eva, I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's not just like about credit. People have no idea everything that comes together and all the different people I've met in the Lions Club and us sharing on the page. Some of us, we don't even know each other. You know what I mean? But we're like, hey, how you doing? This and this, that, and that, sending each other private messages. And man, it's just a whole different world. It's just a whole different world. And I don't serve a God of coincidences. And we're not here on coincidence. It's just awesome. It's great.
Wow. This is just amazing. So those, once again, that are listening, we just feel like it's really important for you guys to hear from real Lions. We have real people, real stories. I feel like I'm doing a commercial for Real World with MTV. My bad. but it's for real. Sincerely. And man, just these testimonies, I connect with them so much, and hopefully you guys too, because this is real life. And one thing that has been so just amazing about this experience with Eva is that, she genuinely cares, genuinely wants to help people, and genuinely getting results. This is not something that we're doing. And we made this program, we were thinking about it, we were creating it.
Yeah.
We wanted to be intentional about meeting people's needs. Right? Because there's so many ways we can create programs. There's so many things out there. Just to let you guys know what the difference is. We talk about coaching. There are approaches that just want to focus on repairing your credit, right?
Right.
Simply deleting something off the credit, or, doing some maneuvers to increase your score. But with Eva, when we talked about it and I started to learn more about what she does and what she's passionate about, she was like, no. I want to change people's lives. I want people to be empowered to live life on their own terms. And when you hear that, it sounds vague. And it sounds like, what exactly do you mean by that? But I hope that you guys can hear through these stories that as you improve your money, as you improve your finances, and as your options improve, you start to be able to figure out what you want your life to be. And then you will have the means to actually make that happen. And that's just totally amazing. So Eva, before we wrap this up, because man, I'm just like on a high. I can't wait to re-listen to this episode.
Right? I know. I'm like, I can't wait till it's recorded. I'm gonna play it back right now.
Oh my goodness. Could you please just, wrap us up and talk to us a little bit about, once again, why is it so important to become a Lion and to be intentional about your finances and not leave it up to happenstance and time and messing around? And like, why do you have to be intentional, and why is it so important to be a Lion?
Absolutely. And going back to the beginning when, I was in Cancun and I had the moment. And for those that are in the EmpowerYou financial group, I threw a video out there, and, certain people will take it a certain way. Other people were like, I hear you loud and clear, and I'm getting to work. And that's exactly the people I want to focus on, are the people who are ready to make a change, but not just make a change, but to commit for 12 months in making sure we are tackling all of these financial goals to put you in this space. So if y'all missed the memo in the group, I'm no longer doing just the single credit sessions. Yes, I could totally tell you what you can do to raise your credit scores. But like these ladies mentioned, that's just a little piece of the financial foundation. Yeah, we can start there, but it's going to evolve as long as you're a part of a program that's going to help you achieve those financial goals. And that's what I want to have. I don't want to just be like, okay, you did a session. Now you're in the 700 plus club. Great. Hallelujah. Pop bottles. No, what's next? What are we doing with that credit score? Are we refinancing your house, saving you thousands? Are we helping you refinance the car or buy? Are we putting your kids, are we setting them up on a better position to where now they've got college savings or planning for, the estate, the living trust, the retirement, all of it. And I want to actually see it get done, not just, okay, we hang up and I'll do it later. But no, having these monthly check-ins, the accountability, the, hey, how are you doing? Yesterday, I posted in the group. I had 60 seconds of a malfunction. I was not feeling myself, but I'm okay. Who else is going through something right now? So many people were like, oh my gosh, me too. Oh my gosh, because life isn't perfect. We're going to have our good days. We're going to have our bad days. We're going to make these financial moves. Then sometimes those ugly voices come in and they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if that's the right move. Who do you have in your corner that is going to help you fight? Fight through the bad days. Fight through the ugly voices. Fight through an unexpected expense. Like in Adina, wait a minute, even myself, I'm applying more money to my car payment. Why isn't my interest finance charges going down if I'm owing less? Well, they email me back some nonsense and I'm like, you know what? I don't believe what you're saying. I think you're just taking my money. I'm just paying you off right now because we are going to cut with the foolishness. Being in a financial position to make that type of decision is huge, but you got to want it and you got to fight for it. And that's why I've committed to now only offering the Lions program, because I've seen lives transform. We hear them. I mean, this is just the first two. Like, wait till we bring on some more. So you guys got to stop playing. Your family's finances should be the number one foundation. Well, God is the number one foundation, but next up, the finances. Because if you don't have that in mind, everything else can go south.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys are wondering how to do it, free webinar, we have them throughout the month. Go to evaempowers.com and sign up. You can hit Eva up directly. She'll give you the link.
Right.
So amazing. So thank you, Eva. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Empower You Financial with Eva Palacios. One of the things that Eva enjoys most about being in personal finance is seeing people win. So if you are looking to improve your credit score because you're ready to make a major purchase, get better rates, or start living life on your own terms, visit Eva at evaempowers.com and schedule a consultation with her so you too can live life empowered.